Hello friends, and welcome to part 4 of the Gravely restoration. Okay, so what I did today is I just degreased some parts here. These brackets here, I ran them off on the wire wheel. Also the shifter lever for the PTO, I just took on the bench grinder and sanded them down. Same with these two here. And the tank here, I took some Rust-Oleum cherry red they were going to paint the whole tractor with, and I painted it. I painted the tank. I just got to flip it over and do the other side here. So what I'm using for this part here, for the sanding down and stuff, I got my goggles here. I got my face mask here. You want to use a good face mask, not that cloth crappy COVID mask. You don't want to use that. Also, I have my degreaser here, and there's other ways to sand stuff down. I'll show you the hood, what I did so far on the hood. I'm just using a die grinder with the coarse sanding disc on it, and I got my brush here, and I got this little brush here for when we're degreasing stuff. This is what I've done so far on the hood. I degreased the hood and everything, and the sun glare is really horrible here. Alright, so I took the die grinder and just grinded this all down. It's pretty smooth, it's not bad. I still gotta do the sides. I started on this one side here, but I gotta finish doing the sides. It's a little time consuming, but it doesn't matter. It gets the job done. I know there's other methods to get the paint off. Very important to wear the mask, because these old tractors, I'm positive that they have lead in the paint. So I took my bench grinder out here, and I'm using the wire wheel. It's easier, I can see better, and it's cooler out here than it is in the shop there. The clutch, I just got to I'll sand this down real quick. I'm going to paint the inner part of the clutch black, but the outer part here, I'm going to paint it, I'm going to paint that red, the cherry red. The battery tray here, it's in pretty bad shape, so I'm going to get as much paint off as I can. And I think I'm going to paint this red also. I haven't decided yet whether to paint it black or red or what. This is the paint I'm using here. I told you on one of the videos that it was like $7 for the Rust-Oleum cherry red here. I could hardly even see anything here with the sun glare. So I'm using this paint here. It was $7 a can, even at Walmart. I didn't even price what it was at Home Depot or anything like that. Yeah, I got my garden hose here to rinse everything off after I degrease stuff. What else? I have a lot of bits and pieces to clean and paint, and I don't know, I wanted to tell you something else and I forgot. Went right out of my head. This is a spacer for the Magneto. I'm going to paint that red. Probably look better. Oh, also, I have to pick up, the tractor's covered. We're not doing anything with the tractor today. But I have to go to Home Depot and buy that, it's like a silver barbecue. It's for barbecues. It's a high temperature paint. I still have to go buy the paint for that. And we'll have to paint the top end of the engine with that paint there. And that's about it so far. I'll let you know some progress as we go along. I'm going to paint the inner part of the hood black. I cleaned it all up real good. This way we don't waste any red. And of course we're going to paint the hood cherry red. Okay, I just want to make one thing clear. I'm not a professional painter or a body man, but I got the black paint on. I did about 5 or 6 coats. And this is that quick drying paint. I think it came out halfway decent. With the sun glare, I'm having a real hard time filming, but I think you can see the hood pretty good. So, what I'll do is I'll bring you back as soon as I put the red on it. This should be pretty dry by now. I let it sit, even though it's a quick drying black paint, I still let it sit for about a half hour. Okay, so the only tip I can give you is don't hold the can of paint too close, and always keep the can of paint moving. That's all you need to know. Don't stay in one spot. That's how you make runs. Alright, so we got the red on there, and it doesn't look too bad for an amateur job here. Looks pretty good. Not bad at all. I'll just let this dry for a while, and then I'll put the table we're using here, I'll put it back in the shop, and I'll put the tank that we painted, and I'll put the hood on it. And I'll bring you back as soon as we start doing the next step. Okay, so I did a lot more cleaning. These are the heat shields here. These are the ones that go on the side. I'm just going to paint the inner part black, and the part you see out here, I'll paint it black as a primer coat, and I'll do the same here. This is the bottom of the top part, and then I'll just paint this side black, and then I'll just paint that red. Everything that you see will be painted red. So I just want to mention, like, I don't use primer. I mentioned it on the last video. What I do is I use a quick drying black paint from Walmart, and I've been pretty lucky with that. You know, just put the quick drying black on. I just let it dry for a half hour, and then I'll put whatever color I'm using, like in this case red. I had a lot of scraping to do here. All in here, it was just like a ½ inch of crud. I took the fan off. I was just going to leave this black inside, but when I was painting the face, some red paint got on there, so I just put a coat of red inside here. Another thing about the masking tape, you want to get the masking tape off as quick as possible after the paint dries, especially if you have whatever you're painting out in the sun, because if you leave the tape on, even though I'm using the blue tape, which is not as bad as that beige tape used to be, it's still a hard time getting it off. Okay, so there's a run here. I messed it up here altogether, and I tried to take the paint off. I should have just left the run alone in it. And then when I was carrying it in here, my glove hit this part here, so I messed that part up. But for the most part, it came out pretty good. And the hood, which we did yesterday, today's another day, that came out pretty good. Not bad. No runs. Gas tank came out pretty good, no runs. I'm going to take it, I'm going to paint the cap black. And another important thing, the vent on top, when I did the 67 restoration on the 67 L8, I started it up, it ran for about a minute and a half, stalled. What happened was paint was in the vent hole, so I just took my torch tip cleaner and cleaned it out real quick. Of course, take the cap off and then clean it. That's about it right now. I have the 2 bands here. I'm going to have to clean them up. And we're just going to paint those black. And if anything else exciting goes on, I'll bring you back. Well, friends, check out this botch job here. Horrible. Even on the side here. One thing I could tell you is do not get over anxious when you're painting. I ended up really messing this up badly. So it's a $20 mistake. I had to go. I went to Home Depot and bought this stripper. It was like 18 bucks or so, something like that. Then I bought a brush, and I'm using this tuna fish can here. You have to use a metal container to pour the stuff into. And what you want to do is you just want to, when you brush it, don't go over it again. Just keep brushing and brushing and brushing and brushing. And then after you get that on there, the stripper on there, you want to wait like 15 minutes or so. I'll probably give it like 20 minutes. So, not to mention the $20 that it's costing, it's the time and the big mess this is going to be here. So, we're going to probably, I'll probably end up doing this part last today to strip this thing down. And then it may be tacky, I don't know. I just let it sit overnight. And if I have to take the die grinder with the sander on it and go over it again, whatever it takes. But I have to get this paint off here. Very important too, wear safety goggles, a good pair of gloves you're going to want to wear, and a long sleeve shirt. You don't want to get this on your skin, you know, on your hands or your arms or anything like that, and especially your eyes. Okay, I just want to give you a quick update. I cleaned the starter and I painted it. Came out alright. Some imperfections on the nose here, but nothing you can really do about that. I painted the brackets here for the handlebars. The other brackets for the sulky hitch, I painted. I still gotta paint this. This is the shift linkage to the PTO. I want to paint that red. I painted the fan here on both sides. I'm going to leave that black. I painted the gas tank straps, turned it over, painted the outer part. Don't have to worry about the inner part too much, but I threw a coat of paint on there anyway. And this is the other one that's done here. These are the heater shields, heat shields. You saw them already. I gave another coat of paint to the hood. There's imperfections. I mean, this thing's a 1957, so I painted the top shield that goes over the head. The heat shield, painted that. I still got to paint this. This houses the starter and the generator. I still got to paint that. I have to go inside and get some more black paint. Am I happy? I don't know. It's okay, I guess. I've done better. Well, for those of you that follow me, do you see anything missing here? Yeah, it's the other 57 Gravely. The guy came and picked it up yesterday. So I was asking $550 and I got $500 for it. Guy traveled like 2 hours to come and get it. He was like northwest of here. So he came down, loaded it up, and away it went. Hate to see him go, but I don't have the room here. But now that's an excuse to try to find another one to get running. So then that's about it for now. Okay, so I painted the inner part of the starter clutch black, like I said I was going to. Then I gave the outer a coat of black, and then I painted it red, as you could see. I painted the Magneto spacer red, and then I just painted the PTO linkage here. I painted that red. You saw the rest, probably in the last segment. Okay, so I used that stripper, and it still took me about an hour and a half to get this right. The thing is that the paint job was only about 4 days old, so it wasn't too bad to get it off, but it's just such a messy job. I couldn't even bring you in to check it out. That's how bad it was. You know, I got the whole side here, and then I got this wall here, The pulley was alright, I left that. Up in here you don't say. The gas tank will take up that space up in there. Some of these Graveleys that I've gotten, that's not even painted up there. This is a little messy down here. But the thing is, I have to let this thing dry real good. So tomorrow morning, I already took the die grinder with the sanding disc, and I hit everything with that. But I just want to, it's not even tacky really, but I just want to just wait till tomorrow and do the finishing touches with this, and then we'll go ahead and I'll paint a quick black pink base coat, and then I'll paint it red. And I have to take it easy with the paint and be careful and not mess it up like I did the last time. Inside here, it's a little choppy. Some of the stripper got in there a little bit. But like I said, I'll let this dry real good. I just hit this with a real quick coat of red paint again in here. But you don't even see this once it's together on the machine. Luckily, the tag is safe. I have to retape it. I had to take the tape off it for now. So, and that's about it for now. I'm just going to put this table inside, put everything away, put it back on the table. I believe, yeah, I showed you the starter. I painted the starter. I still have to paint the generator. The battery tray is a real mess. It's pitted real bad, and I don't have another one. I do have another one, but it doesn't have the brackets for the bolts for the hood, so I won't be able to use that. Alright, okay, so I'll give you a quick update. I cleaned the air cleaner hose real good, scrubbed it down. I'll probably armor all it. The air cleaner base, cleaned that real good. I have the silver paint, but I don't know if I'm painting that. The Magneto, I just scrubbed it down. I degreased it. Came out really good. Not bad at all. There. And I cleaned the wire, the ignition wire. I couldn't get the wire out, and I don't want to break it. It's the original wire. So I'll probably armor all the wire, and I'll armor all the plastic plate there. The generator, I cleaned it all up real good. I'm starting to run out of black paint, so I don't know. Can you see this thing or what? Yeah, I cleaned it up real good. I want to try not to get no paint inside. I mean, I don't know. See what happens. I sanded down the battery tray the best I could. It's really pitted real bad. Can't do anything about it. As I said before, I don't have another one. But, I mean, the battery will be laying there, but the sides are, I don't know, pitted. I painted the hubcaps here. They're the center caps. They go on the hub. I painted one side of the throttle here. I painted the sulky hitch. That came out really nice. Not bad at all. I painted underneath first, and then I just put it on this little brick here, so it's not touching on the ground. But this is gonna have to dry for quite a while. I fixed this mess up here that I did. This morning what I did was I just took some acetone and cleaned this real good. Oh no, I'm sorry. I used the parts cleaner that I bought at Walmart. I did that. I scrubbed it down real good. I have to put a couple more coats of paint on it. I'm not going crazy. I'm taking my time. I'm letting the paint dry. I don't know what happened that day, but can't get too anxious when you're doing this stuff. So I saved it. It should be all right. This part came out pretty good too. I got to point with my finger. I can't even see anything here. So it came out all right. Then I took one of the handlebars and I sanded it down on the wire wheel. And I just threw a few coats of black paint on. I taped up the kill switch there. And I guess that's about it for now. We're moving right along. I got a lot of hours in this already. It's taking a long time to do. Some of you may remember when we bought the two 1957 Graveleys and they came with 2 brand new tires. And then I went down to Tractor Supply and bought 2 brand new tubes. And so I cleaned the tires real good and I armor all them. And I did the same thing with the air filter hose. I armor-alled the cover on the Magneto and the wire. The paint job came out really good on this, so we're just going to leave it be. I put another coat on it since the last segment. So, this came out pretty good. And here too. There's no runs or imperfections or anything like that. We'll take a look at it better once I have it off this crate. I put the table inside and put all the parts. I'm going to put all the painted parts on there that we painted today. I put some of them in there already. So everything's pretty well dry. It's been a couple of hours, about 3 or 4 hours since I painted everything. Tires came out good. This should look good. I think we still have time in this video. What I'm going to do tomorrow morning is I'm going to take the cover off and I'm going to mask off the bottom part of the engine and we're going to paint the top end. We don't have to mask off the whole bottom, just enough to where I don't get any paint on the bottom end. And I'll paint the hubs silver like I was saying. You saw that we have the center hub caps. They're painting it. And maybe we'll throw the tires on it or something. We'll see how far we get in the next video. I'm not really recording doing the painting or anything because it takes forever. If I made a recording out of what we did so far, it would be about 30 hours long. So, alright, so we'll continue this tomorrow morning. Okay, so at first I wasn't going to paint the bottom end here, but looking at it this morning, I'm not liking the way it looks. So what I did was I just masked off the black here. Okay, I just masked off the crankshaft, and then I just went around the Magneto shaft here. I took the plug out. I just wire wheeled the plug, and then, like I said before, the plug is still good, so I just masked that off. And what I did was I took a piece of cardboard here and I just cut it out to fit down in here so we don't get any silver paint or gray paint on the black transmission rather. What I'll do first is I'll paint the hubs. Painting this outer part here is really not too critical. Just want to get this all good because the wheel's going to be covering that. And I don't want to take any chances trying to shoot some paint here and get it on the black part of the axle down there. So I went ahead and just taped off the black here. I used the wide tape and I just did 2 rows. I'm just going to have to be really careful here with this. And I'll just paint this whole thing. Yeah, I really don't. Maybe it looks okay on camera, but it doesn't look good to me looking at it this morning. So, I'll begin by painting. I don't know if I said it already. I'm going to paint the hubs first. I'll do that first because this cardboard's just going to be in the way of doing the bottom end and the top end here. That'll all be silver. And like I said, I'll take my chances. I'll paint the muffler. It's not probably not going to hold paint. and then I'll just get back to you. I'm doing this really, really early in the morning because I would like this to dry for about 4 or 5 hours or so, and then we'll put the wheels back on it. But before we put the wheels back on, I have the timing set to top dead center here. It's all set up. As I said previously, the bolt here, and then I'll show you on the Magneto, there's marks, and I don't know, this was painted already. Some people say not to paint that when you mount the mag. It already had paint on it, so I painted it. I don't know if it's critical. If it doesn't have spark, I'll have to pull the Magneto off and whatever, but I never had a problem before. So I'll bring you back as soon as we're done, and we'll see how the outcome is here. Alright, so I have the top end and the bottom end painted here. I'm kind of glad I painted the bottom end. I didn't like the way that looked. Anyway, I'm using this Rust-Oleum. It's supposed to be good for 1200 degrees because it's for barbecues. I painted the hubs. Got the other side done too. It doesn't look too bad. It's okay. The paint held up on my 67 L8. That held up pretty good. But on that one, I put a brand new muffler on it. But the paint burned off that. Like I said before. I did get some gray paint on the black here. So I just masked off the oil pressure gauge here and the filter a little bit, and I just hit it with a little black paint. It happens. So it's moving along pretty good. It's about 8:15 now in the morning, so I'm just going to let it sit for about 3 hours, and then I'll come back to you. I think the engine's at top dead center and everything's all set up here. And I'll throw the Magneto back on it. And we'll put the wheels back on with the center caps here that I painted red. And it's moving along okay. In the meantime, I have the other handlebar I have to paint. I painted the one already. This one's painted. This one's all stripped down already. I just got to chalk it up in the vise and paint it like we painted this one here. I could get the tape off the kill switch here. The kill switch wraps around the handle here. It has metal brackets. I remember when I transferred the kill switch from the other tractor and I put it on here, it wasn't making a good ground here, so I had to I had to sand some of the handlebar off so it made a ground. That's why I left this on here, because it's got a good ground as far as I know so far, and that's why I masked it and I painted the handle with the kill switch on. So I'll pull the tape off that. I have to tape off this hand grip here. I could take the tape off this one, and I'll get back to you as soon as we make some more progress. Okay, so I have the Magneto set. The straight line here, that's where our pulse is, and then you'll see the straight line here. So after the pulse, what I did was I brought the piston up to top dead center all the way at the top, and I went a little beyond, because if you're trying to put this on when it's in the middle of pulsing, you'll go crazy. So the straight line has to be here. And like I said, we have it at top dead center. Let's see what kind of if I could do this on camera here. I have everything set up pretty good. Just a little tricky, but not too bad. Okay, so once you have this all set up in here, you can start putting your bolts in. And like I said, see how easy it is without the wheel on there. It's much easier to do this way. It's pretty easy to just screw these in with your fingers. I didn't even clean the bolts, I really didn't have to. Alright, now I'll be in your way. Now you kind of got to do this one from the back. Just stand up and then you can just take your 1/4 inch ratchet. I used the flat Craftsman ratchet with the 9/16 socket, and then you can tighten it up. And I think we're going to end this one soon. What I'm going to do is, it's about 9:30 right now, so the paint's been drying for about an hour or so. And what I'm going to do is, I'll put the wheels on with the hubcaps, and then I'll come back to you and we'll take a look at it, and then that'll be it for, what are we on, part 4? Yeah, I think we're on part 4 here, and then I'll come back to you on, yeah, part 5. We'll continue some more assembly and stuff. What I'm gonna have to do is, after I get the tires on, I have to pop the plow off, because I still have to paint the bottom of this, the black. There's not much to paint up towards the front. I don't even know where the camera is. Underneath. And then I have to tilt the tractor on its nose and paint back here underneath. And then that part's done. Okay, so it's come out pretty decent. Tires look good, the hubs look good. Hubcaps on there. Paint's pretty much dry. It's only been like 2 hours, but it was dry, so I went ahead and put the wheels on it. It's this side here. Not bad at all. Had a little mishap over here, even though I paint, when I somehow the gray paint, there's like a stripe over here. I think maybe on the shaft here. I don't know if that's tape on there, I gotta say. But anyway, the air cleaner is gonna cover this pretty much. I know if I go and try to fix that, I'm gonna mess something else up. I just know it. So I think I'm just gonna leave that well enough alone. Okay, so we're gonna end this one here. Thanks for joining me here on part 4. Part 5, we're going to continue assembly. I still have to paint the shifter rods. I have to clean them and paint them in the meantime. And I still have to paint the PTO rod. And I think that's about it for the painting. I'm not really sure yet. But we could still continue on other stuff. And maybe I'll have that painted by the time we continue again. And like I said, thanks for joining me. I'll see you all on the next one. Take care.